Everyone travels for their own reasons. Some are looking for relaxation and others looking for adventure.
And then there's people like us who like to show up in a new country with a backpack full of camping gear and a rental car and just start driving.
Iceland's Ring Road is one of the most iconic road trips in the world. This 821-mile route circles the island as it winds past a seemingly infinite number of waterfalls,
through picture-perfect villages, over mountains, and alongside beaches and glaciers. Now, most people who visit Iceland focus on the southern region of the country, where most of the iconic spots are located.
However, we're spending 2 weeks in Iceland and our entire second week is focused on this section here.
But those videos will be heading your way in just a few weeks, so make sure you keep an eye out for those by clicking that subscribe button.
This video will focus mostly on the drive itself, the surprise and excitement that comes with rounding another corner to see yet another breathtaking view.
Our journey begins in Reykjavik, where we spent our first night in a hotel to get accustomed to the time zone and explore a bit of the capital city before heading clockwise around the Ring Road.
About 30 minutes outside of Reykjavik, we found ourselves driving through a crazy long tunnel. This wasn't just any tunnel though. It dropped 541 feet below sea level and kept you down there for over 3 miles. Now, I'm not an engineer, but it was clear this tunnel was incredible as it went underneath the water in a deep fjord.
And as soon as we emerged out of the tunnel, it felt like our Ring Road expedition had officially begun as we saw mountains in front of us and no more signs of the city.
The first day was definitely the most driving. I know we've said this once already, but Iceland has a lot of amazing places to explore for such a small country.
Now, we could spend months and even years hiking and driving every corner of this country. In these 2 weeks, we decided to focus our time on a general overview of the Ring Road before venturing into the south side of the island for our group trip in the second week.
There's definitely no boring part of the Ring Road, but we had been told that as we continued on the drive around the road clockwise from Reykjavik, that the points of interest would become more frequent.
Because of this, we planned to move faster the first day or two to explore mostly on the eastern side of the island. Day 1, we didn't really stop much until we reached the second largest city in the country.
Akureyri. Oh gosh, Akureyri. By this point, it was lunchtime and we were in need of more coffee, which we found at this adorable little coffee shop located in the middle of the botanical gardens. This coffee shop we found is actually in the botanical gardens. So while we're getting coffee, we're able to walk around and see the botanical gardens, which are surprisingly bloomy still for being mid-September in Iceland.
Yeah.
I thought things would be dead, but it's still blooming.
Look, she's excited about the flowers. I'm excited about the coffee.
I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna go.
All right, let's go.
Everyone always talks about how amazing the waterfalls are in Iceland. And just outside of Akureyri, we finally got up close and personal with our very first Icelandic waterfall.
This is definitely one of those places where you walk up to and all you say is, wow.
We have a whole blog post about driving the Ring Road with more steps that we didn't manage to squeeze into this video, so if you'd like more information, be sure to check that out in the description below. Our camp spot for the night was about an hour off the Ring Road, but because it came highly recommended by a local, we decided to add it to our itinerary.
So tonight we are camping in this national park.
And when we're up at 3 a.m. in the morning freezing our butts off, Chris can 100% blame me because it was my idea.
The myth is that Odin, Thor's dad,
I'm Thor.
Anthony Hopkins, his horse stepped here. It's in the shape of a horse foot. They think hoof.
It's a hoof.
So, they think that Odin's horse stepped here, and that's what made this happen. So if you like Thor, his dad is the reason for this.
The scenery just keeps getting better and better and better. So my understanding is the scenery is going to keep getting better and better and better and better and better as we keep going around. We've already seen incredible things. And I think we're about halfway-ish, maybe a third of the way around the road. We did a lot of driving today because we know there's some spots for sure that we want to see on the east coast of Iceland. And then a lot of the southern side, we're gonna wait because when our group tour starts with all of our 14 friends coming over to travel with us on Friday, we're gonna see mostly southern region. So we're saving a lot of that. So we're seeing north or west, north, and east on the Ring Road. So that's our plan. Let's go.
Horses they run and pound the earth like thunder. The courses they're on are crushed in their wake. The force of the sun pounds the earth asunder. The torch of her strength none can escape. Like the hammer in the heart of the maker. The hammering, hammering heart, the hammering heart of the maker. The hammering, hammering heart.
The spot was lovely, but we especially liked the lighter crowds and numbers of fellow tourists that we found in this part of the country. In fact, our campground was only at about 10% capacity, adding to the remote feel. I love camping. It's actually really nice and quiet out.
Day 2 started with more waterfalls.
We woke up this morning to rain, which is nice.
Hey, we made it to day 3 without rain. I'm happy. Hey, it may be raining, but on day 3, I finally got to break out my yellow rain jacket. I know yellow rain jacket in Iceland's a little bit of a cliche, but I had this jacket long before we had the Iceland trip on the books. It makes every rainy day just a little bit brighter. I love it. Once we fell asleep, I slept great, but it was getting to sleep. My mind was racing. It's one of those nights where I couldn't shut my brain off. We slept till almost 8. Oops. And by that point, the rain had rolled in. But it's okay. It sounded really nice in the tent. And it wasn't like a downpour, so we just sort of threw everything into the car and went. But yeah, I slept great. Did you?
Yeah.
I know he slept great because he was snoring while I was just laying there like that. Hear it a long ways off, and you finally see it.
Thundering, powerful, and beautiful, the waterfalls and really all of this region of Iceland felt like another planet.
See those people all the way in the back, like right over there? That's right across the waterfall, obviously. But in order to get to them, it takes over an hour because this thing is just massive. Massive, massive, massive waterfall. Somebody told us that in Iceland, if you miss a waterfall, don't worry, you're gonna see another one just up the road. And while they're right, I don't think we've gotten tired of it just yet.
I love that Iceland is just so, I don't know, maybe it's survival of the fittest, but they have basic safety measures. And it's cracking me up because this is the waterfall. If you have to drop off, raging, I'd be gone if I fell in right now. Anybody would be gone. There's like a natural smallish rock barrier, but there's no fence. But then over here to keep you off of the fragile vegetation, they have a little cable. So I guess they're more concerned with trampling the vegetation they are falling over. Survival of the fittest. Whoever's smart enough to stay away will stay away. Are we smart enough?
Remote landscapes made up of unusual colors and textures, likely left over from the volcanic eruptions and the other natural wear and tear that Iceland's ever-changing landscape is put through year after year.
We're no geologists, but we know this. It's otherworldly and incredible.
This same day, we also found our way to one of the most beautiful villages in the country.
Seydisfjordur. We were told this was a must-visit stop, and whoever recommended it, thank you. You were right.
The drive-in was one of the most beautiful drives we've ever been on in our entire lives, and reaching this village in the fjord below felt like we were stumbling back in time. And some of you may even recognize it as the longboard scene from Walter Mitty.
Seydisfjordur's remote location added to the quaint and quiet charm of the village. Unfortunately, we forgot to pull out our cameras for much of our time there, but we had the most perfect espresso sitting in this little coffee shop overlooking the foggy bay out the window.
We had planned to spend the night camping in this village, but unfortunately the weather took an extra cold turn and we decided to make our way back out of the fjord and a bit further down the coast where it was forecasted to be about 20 degrees warmer, which makes a huge difference when you're camping in a tent.
As the Ring Road hugs the coast a little closer as you work your way around the eastern and southern sides of the island, you realize how many fjords and inlets fill the Icelandic coastline.
The Ring Road is only about 821 miles long, but Iceland actually has 40,652 miles of coastline. These fjords and inlets add to the dramatic nature of the Icelandic landscape, and with each twist, turn, and tunnel in the road, we fell more in love with Iceland.
When we turned around this bend on the road, we were just met with these massive glaciers. And there's 3 in this national park. I wish I could show you the magnitude of these glaciers. They're magnificent. They're awesome. And they're just right here on the side of the road. It's pretty cool.
Now look, we've seen glaciers before in places like Alaska and Montana, but Iceland's glaciers were different in that they were so massive and dominated mountains that they were almost unassuming.
Maybe because unlike other glaciers we've seen, these weren't crowded with people. In fact, the first glacier we stopped at had nobody else around. We had the place to ourselves, and we ended up hanging out here a bit longer than we anticipated, enjoying the solitude and the beauty of the glacier.
We mentioned already that we were planning on spending our second week of time in Iceland primarily in the southern region, but we couldn't keep ourselves from stopping at the Iceberg Lagoon as we passed at sunset.
We're seeing this in a few days with our tour group, and we said we're not gonna see anything without you guys that we're gonna see on a group tour. We're gonna wait for you guys, and that's true, because when we come back, we're doing a tour of this whole lake on a boat. But we wanted to come by at sunset to get really pretty shots of it because we're already here. We haven't seen the Diamond Beach. We think we're gonna save that. We wanted to see the icebergs and the lake and the glacier spilling into the lake at sunset. And I'm glad we made that choice, just for the B-roll alone. But yeah, we drove past it and then we wanted to backtrack. And when we came by the first time, it was very busy. And now it's like the crowds are dwindling out. I guess people are going to find dinner, getting to their hotels for the night. And so if you are coming by, I will note the crowds are nothing like they are in U.S. national parks. Like, not even close. Not to mention parking is free. You do need to note that it can get a little crowded, but not too unbearable.
I mean, this is just, it's incredible. We're on the south side of Iceland now, and this is where things really start to pick up. This is where all the tourist, destinations are. Before we came back here, we went ahead and set up our camp. So we're gonna head back to our tent and sleep. And then tomorrow, we've got another day of completing the Ring Road.
Rain moved in overnight, but not the kind of downpour that soaks through the rain cover on the tent, but the kind that gently taps the roof and drifts you off to the best night's sleep of your life. If this were any other travel vlogger, they'd go, "Good morning, honey," and then they'd hand each other coffee. But in reality, I woke up and I had drool on my face. And I kicked Chris and I was like, "We gotta get up." Good morning from Iceland again. We're in another national park, and I slept like a rock last night. It's the best I slept. I don't think we got lower than like mid-30s last night, so it really wasn't too bad. But it rained. But it wasn't like a downpour rain. It was the kind of rain that sounds really nice in a tent. It was nice. My eyes are swollen. I've got leftover makeup around it. I feel weird having y'all in our bedroom. Not my favorite. Who are these people who vlog in bed all the time? I'm like, why? Yeah, where's my coffee, honey?
No.
What was that?
All right, welcome to our humble abode. All right, can you give us a grand tour?
Yes, this is the grand tour of our 2-person plus Kramer size tent. Kramer's not here. Guys, this is the longest we've ever left Kramer. It's been really hard, I'm not gonna lie. This is our little tent. It's a big Agnes 2-person. We have 2 sleeping bags, 2 sleeping pads, 2 little tiny inflatable pillows. It's actually a bike packing tent or backpacking, but it's bike packing because it's small enough to go on the front of a bike, which is we hope to do soon. A rumple blanket just as extra warmth and cushion. Just we always travel with this now. That's pretty much the grand tour. There's not really much to witness. We have 2 doors. One for Chris, one for me. We slept really well in this. We've slept in it in Washington and Oregon and Colorado and Iceland.
Yeah,
we slept in a lot of places for one little summer. We just got this earlier this summer and I love it. It's great. So we went ahead and invested in this after we sold our van because we were too cheap to pay for hotels after we sold the van. And I'm so glad because I have slept so much better in this than I have in any other hotel. I'm one of those people who sticks their cold hands and feet against the husband.
Yeah.
Can't do that in my sleeping bag. I think he sleeps better without me.
I zipped it all the way up.
He said, "No, be gone."
We're gonna take this thing down. And we're gonna get going.
I'm so tired.
I know. No, it was good. It was a good night's sleep though. We're in this.
A good sleepy. Like my face is all swollen and groggy. My eyes are crusty. And that's good sleep there.
It's beautiful here.
Oh, this is the beauty he speaks of.
Let's go. Oh, I just fucked it up. All right, let's go.
Spent all this time chasing a dream, but none of it was true until you were here with me. It's a wonderful world filled with fabulous things. I'd trade them all away to have you here with me. Trade them all away to have you here with me.
Look, you know it's a Chris and Sarah road trip video when we managed to squeeze 3 coffee shops into one little road trip vlog. We found our way to Vik around lunchtime and stopped for coffee in a shop located in an old school bus, which came highly recommended by one of our friends online. Look, you know who you are, so thank you for the recommendation.
It's amazing how at home I feel in a bus or a van. Feels normal. I'm like, oh, I can live in this. But, alright, so this place came recommended, and I'm trying so hard to remember who recommended it from Instagram. If you know who you are, comment so we can thank you again. But we're in Vik, and someone recommended that we come to, it's called Skool Beans, so we're inside the school bus, and it's a coffee shop, and they actually roast their own beans from around the world. So Chris got a El Salvadorian, and I got a Papua New Guinea, so we're gonna try both of those. We both just got Americanos because we're boring Americans, and we just really need straight up coffee right now. It's cute, they've got a little wood burning stove, they've got little seats and a bar, and I mean, it's bumping, it's busy. It's cute and it's a beautiful setting. So if you need coffee, I recommend this.
We finished our Ring Road drive back into Reykjavik, where we had plans of visiting a hot spring to rest our achy muscles from sitting in the car for so much time over the course of 5 days. But that's our next video, so stay tuned for that, because let me just say this, the hot springs in Iceland are vacation worthy in and of themselves. for behind the scenes and extra content, you can head on over to our Patreon community. Otherwise, be sure to follow on Instagram or like and subscribe here. It really helps creators like us.